Just going to do a bit of camera a second. Again, yeah. Anyway, so just riding with the Invisible Man, and I'm off on another adventure. So today is a bit different than last week. Last week was I did the Craiglin Ridge, just behind me there, and today we're going to go down to the Mumbles. And we're not going to race that motorbike. We're going to go down to the Mumbles and we're going to talk to Howard Middleton-Jones. And the reason why we're talking to Howard Middleton-Jones is that earlier on in the week was the 35th anniversary of the first triathlon in the Swansea Neath and Port Talbot area, which was organised by Howard Middleton-Jones. So we're off to down the old road from Neath, and as soon as we get to Aberdeen, we'll be hopping on the bike path. So in the last couple of weeks, what they've done is they've surfaced the Canal Path from Morrison's in Neath to Aberdeen, and it's quite sweet actually. It's that means that you can now cycle all the way from Aberdeen to the Mumbles on tarmac path. It's a really good facility, and fingers crossed it's going to be kept maintained and felt well done to the organisations responsible for servicing this path. Well done, congratulations, thumbs up. So we're just reaching Oystermouth now, and there's one thing we must do when in Oystermouth or in Swansea. There's only one option to take, and that option is wait for it, Joe's ice cream. Right? Excellent. Can I have 2 small tubs, please? All right. All right.
How you going, man? All right?
Yeah, good.
Keeping well?
Yes, thank you.
Joe's as well.
Yeah, good.
Long time no see.
Likewise.
I'll take
Many years. How
old you was,
top. So today I've journeyed to the Mumbles in Swansea, and I'm with Howard Middleton-Jones. Howard, I would consider, is the father of triathlon in the Swansea Neath and Port Talbot area. He organised the first club, he organised the first event, and he was the first Welsh champion. he was the first Welsh champion from the area. Veterans. He was a veterans champion. What about you swimming before triathlon, Howard?
Right, well that started at a very early age. So I started sea swimming when I was told I could swim before I could walk. Down in Caswell, my parents used to go to Caswell a lot. My father actually taught me to swim.
It's a nice place, isn't it, Caswell?
Yes, yeah, it was in those days. And then when I was about 9, my mother used to take me down to Swansea Bay, and I used to swim there for like 20 minutes a time, and she'd hold a towel. And then when I was 12, my father got the job at the University Sports Centre in Sketty Lane, which is now National Pool, of course. And we had within 20 metres away, I had the pool. I could go in any time. But I was taken in. John Palmer, who now passed away many years ago, was a great guy, a lovely coach. He taught me the more technical aspects of swimming. And
were you always a specialist front crawl?
Yeah, front crawl and butterfly later, but front crawl mainly. Yeah, could do all strokes, but that was the main my main stroke. And he taught me the sort of reality. I did all my life-saving awards with him, and Water Merit Bronze, and Water Merit. And then when I was 16, I joined the Langdon Lifeguards.
So you learned your open water tricks there, yeah?
Then it got interesting then.
Yeah.
The old school type, you know, with a heavy harness belt, swim out, rescue someone with like a half-ton weight behind you. But it's brilliant. Yeah, it was very good training.
Yeah.
And then I started the following year. I started longboard surfing.
Okay.
And so I was in and out of the water all the time, year round, you know.
So tell me about the formation of Triathletes Swansea, Howard, and the start of your triathlon career.
Okay, well, as you know, Triathletes Swansea was one of the first club in Wales, formed in 1985. But the story goes way back before that. As a swimmer and a fell runner originally, I was looking for some unusual event to do. And then one day I was looking through a weekend newspaper in 1983, and I came across this article by the British Triathlon Association. And I thought, what's this all about? You know, and they said, well, swim, run and bike. I mean, it's only been, I think, started up a year or so before that. And cut long story short, I started training for it. In '84, I did my first triathlon in London, in Finsbury Park. And then, of course, the rest is history. I went on to do about 4 or 5 the following year, at least 5 or 6. And then in '86, I became the BTA rep for Wales. And then, of course, we started the first event in the Tinman in Pontardawe. But in 1985, the end of 1985, we started up Triathletes Swansea. And I think within months, we had about 20 members. And then, of course, we went from strength to strength, and now look at everywhere. There's over, 20 clubs in Wales, 25 clubs?
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
I think 1986, early 1986 I must have joined.
Yeah, so you started at end of '85,
yeah,
and then '86 you joined, and quite a few others then.
Yeah. So who were the original members? Can you remember?
There was John Richards, Helen Sawyer, Kev Besant, Kevin Pullen, all the old boys, Richard Harding. That's ones I can remember off the top of my head, but there's quite a few.
John Richards, I remember. I played him in squash.
Yes, he was a good squash. Yeah, he was our accountant. Good runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you start training for triathlon, Howard?
That's a big question, because although I was quite good at swimming and I knew, I used to read all the books and I had some good coaching. I used to swim for Wales and the Swansea and the Water Polo Club. It's just we didn't realise how to put these 3 events together, like swim, run and bike, so it was all a bit suck and see. So what happened was I arranged in about '84 to one of the guys from the Croupiers in Cardiff, I think Kevin Fullthorpe and 1 or 2 others, and what we used to do was meet up in the old university pool, long before the national pool. It was just a 33 and a 30-yard pool then.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and we used to have a swimming session there. We'd jump on our bikes, jump on our bikes after the swim to Swansea on the prom and down to Mumbles, and then we throw the bikes into the hedge and then run to Mumbles and back. So that was our initial training. And say, well, let's see how that goes,
Yeah,
But it seemed to pay off, because when I did the... and of course, I mean, on top of this, I used to go up on Cam Bryn and do a bit of endurance training.
Running or cycling?
Running,
yeah.
Running, yeah. And over Cam Bryn, cycling, of course, but I used to like running up.
That's a fantastic ridge, isn't it? One of the
Yeah,
best in Wales, I would say.
Very good for endurance.
Yeah.
But it seemed to pay off. I came in the top 20 in the Finsbury Park.
Oh, well done.
Even though I lost my spare inner tube and got it wrapped around the wheel, I
dear.
managed to. But that was got a bit giddy there. It was 8 to 9 revolutions of the park.
All right, yeah.
400 metres swim in the pool, 8 to 9 revolutions around Finsbury Park. And that was it, and then a run at the end.
Of course, in the early days, there was no wetsuits, was there?
No, that didn't come on till much later. I swam, I remember I think it was 87, the Milton Keynes European Championships. I swam in that. And I had a lycra tri-suit, the first ones we had from the Triathletes Swansea written on it, the logo.
They were red and white, weren't they?
Red and white, yeah, that's right. And there were 300 turned up. It was a man-made lake, freezing cold. In Fahrenheit, I think it was about 52. Oh. And half the entrance from Europe went back home again. They didn't even go in the water. I was blowing a gale. But fortunately, I've been training in the sea, and I think I did one of my fastest swims that day. Yeah. I just want to get out of the water.
What was the distance in that one?
I think it was about 1,200.
Oh, so it wasn't a quick dip then?
No, it was a standard Olympic distance, but I think they cut it short. And but a lot of people had hypothermia on the bikes. Fortunately, I took a woolly top on the bike, and that really helped. Yeah. So I managed to get through it all and survived.
Yeah. So this week saw the 35th anniversary of the first event in Wales, the Pontardawe Tinman.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. I've forgotten all about it, to be honest.
Yeah. And you obviously organised that, yeah?
Yes, we did that with the club, and John Richards again helped. That was the first, and that was the first ever local event, so it was all a bit training for everyone really. It went off quite well. It was in the local leisure centre. The Pontardawe helped, the council helped quite a bit, and it turned out a good event. You know, it's so many years ago and I can't remember much about it, but I didn't get a chance to enter it because I was organising it.
Yeah, that was a lovely event. It was great. Yeah. So it's been a pleasure as always, Howard, and thank you for your time. And
thanks very much, Di. It's been great to see you after all these years.
Many years.
Glad to see you up and running. Glad to see you still looking fit.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This area here was the swim for the British Triathlon Championships. I think around 99, 2000, 2001. Mark Jenkins won it. Absolutely incredible performance. This is where the Swansea Triathlon is held, in this dock here. So I've been able to swim, and I think it was the Lord of the Rings swim. The two towers. So you've got the Grape and Olive in Swansea, and you've got the paper mills in Baglan. So what I did was I got into a suitable depth and used the two towers for sighting. And did about 6 lengths of 200 metres, so about 1200 metres in total. Still quite cold. Hello, Mr. Horse. Hello. How are you doing? Mr. Horsey says hello. Hello. Come on then. Who's a nice dog? Who's a nice dog, eh? Who's a good dog, eh? Are you a good dog? just coming to the end of my adventure for the day. I'd say the end, we're 20 minutes away from home, and by the time I get home it'll be about 8 hours 20, so I estimate about 50 miles there and back to Mumbles on the bike, and about 1200 swimming. So that's a nice little outing and a good interview with Howard Middleton-Jones, which is the important thing. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the button. Shy away! Good.
So people can get hold of you through the Gower Open Water Swim Training Facebook page?
That's correct, yeah.